Welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we witness a moment that shook the war zone and rewrote the rules of modern combat. 27 Russian ammunition trucks, gone in seconds, reduced to fire and dust by a fleet of Ukrainian drones slicing through the night sky. This wasn't just an explosion, it was a statement. A nation outnumbered, outgunned, yet unbroken, striking with precision and purpose. What happened on the road to Zaporizhzhia wasn't merely a military operation, it was a message to the world that courage, innovation, and willpower can burn brighter than any weapon ever built. In modern warfare, the battlefield no longer belongs solely to tanks, artillery, and fighter jets. It belongs to technology, intelligence, and precision. The recent Ukrainian drone strike that destroyed 27 Russian ammunition trucks on their way to Zaporizhzhia stands as proof that wars today are won not by the size of your army, but by the sharpness of your strategy. What happened wasn't just a military operation, it was a demonstration of how innovation has transformed the nature of combat. Ukrainian drones didn't attack blindly, they identified, tracked, and annihilated targets that were vital to Russia's frontline operations. In a single strike, they disrupted supply chains, shattered logistics, and sent a powerful message that brains can defeat brawn. Drone warfare is rewriting the rules of engagement. Where once armies relied on sheer manpower and heavy weaponry, today's victories come from silent, calculated precision. These drones, often small enough to fit in the back of a truck, carry the power to cripple entire battalions. They see what soldiers can't, they reach where missiles can't, and they strike with the accuracy of a surgeon's scalpel. The Ukrainian forces have mastered this art, blending tactical intelligence with cutting-edge technology to create an invisible, yet unstoppable air presence. Each drone in the sky is an eye of justice, scanning for the right moment to deliver an exact, devastating blow. The destruction of 27 ammunition trucks wasn't just a lucky hit, it was a masterstroke in planning and execution. Every truck carried not only supplies but the confidence of Russian troops. Losing them means losing rhythm, morale, and momentum. It showed how modern warfare is no longer about territory, but about control. Control over information, over timing, and over the skies. Ukraine's drones have turned that control into a weapon more powerful than any tank battalion. What's remarkable is how efficiently Ukraine has adapted to technological warfare under pressure. Facing a much larger adversary, they have transformed necessity into innovation, making drones the backbone of their defensive and offensive strategy. This strike near Zaporizhzhia also represents a new form of military intelligence. It's not about who fires first but who sees first. Drones offer that advantage. They turn data into dominance. Ukrainian operators sitting miles away from the front line can pinpoint a target, analyze movement patterns, and execute an attack that hits precisely where it hurts the most. It's a modern version of David versus Goliath, where precision replaces brute strength and insight replaces intimidation. Russia's reliance on heavy convoys and ground logistics has become its weakness in a world where visibility equals vulnerability. Moreover, the success of this drone strike has reshaped the morale of both sides. For Ukraine, it reinforces faith in their evolving warfare strategy. For Russia, it plants seeds of doubt about their own resilience. Soldiers who once moved with confidence now march with caution, knowing that unseen eyes are watching from above. It's not just the trucks that burned, it's the illusion of safety that has gone up in flames. And in war, when your enemy starts to doubt their own security, you've already won half the battle. The world is witnessing how precision and intelligence have become the new artillery. This Ukrainian drone operation is a clear statement that wars will no longer be won by who has the most firepower, but by who uses it smarter. The future belongs to those who can combine courage with computation, vision with vigilance, and technology with tenacity. The strike on those 27 trucks was more than a tactical success. It was a declaration that the age of precision warfare has arrived, and Ukraine stands at the forefront of it. When the Ukrainian drones obliterated 27 Russian ammunition trucks on their way to Zaporizhzhia, it wasn't just a military operation, it was a psychological earthquake that shook the confidence of the Russian forces. The loss went far in the destruction of supplies. It struck directly at the heart of Russian morale and strategy. Every soldier relies on the steady flow of ammunition, fuel, and logistics to feel secure in battle. When that lifeline is severed, even the strongest army begins to crumble from within. The drones didn't just destroy metal and explosives, they dismantled certainty, rhythm, and the sense of invincibility that Russian troops had carried into the war. This strike represents one of the most devastating forms of warfare, psychological warfare. It's not about how many troops you can eliminate, but how deeply you can infiltrate the enemy's mind. When Russian soldiers learned that 27 of their ammunition trucks had been destroyed in a single coordinated attack, fear replaced confidence. They realized that no convoy is safe, no route is hidden, and no movement goes unseen. That knowledge alone can paralyze decision-making, slow operations, and create hesitation, and hesitation is deadly on the battlefield. The Ukrainian forces, through this single act of precision, managed to sow doubt within the very structure of the Russian military machine. Beyond morale, the tactical implications are enormous. Those trucks carried the lifeblood of war, ammunition that fuels artillery, rockets, and rifles. Without it, frontline operations stall. The timing of this attack was not coincidental. It was designed to hit Russia where it hurts the most, its logistics. A military force without supplies is like a body without blood. Even the most powerful divisions cannot fight when the bullets stop coming. Ukraine's strategy didn't just target the enemy's strength, it dismantled their capacity to fight effectively. This forced Russia to reroute its convoys, change strategies, and commit additional resources to protect supply chains that once moved freely. Every new layer of protection consumes time and manpower, two resources as valuable as ammunition itself. The psychological ripple effect also extends to the higher command. Military leaders now have to answer tough questions. How did Ukrainian drones infiltrate their defenses? Who leaked the convoy's route? Why wasn't air defense strong enough to stop them? Each question chips away at confidence in leadership and exposes weaknesses within the command system. Once doubt starts spreading through the ranks, from generals to ground troops, unity begins to fracture. In war, this breakdown of trust can be more dangerous than any direct assault. For Ukraine, this strike serves as both a victory and a warning to their adversaries. It shows how a smaller force can outthink and outmaneuver a larger one. It reinforces the belief among Ukrainian troops that their innovation and intelligence can overcome overwhelming odds. Every soldier fighting for Ukraine can now look at that destroyed convoy and see proof that they are not powerless, that technology and courage, when combined, can rewrite the balance of war. On the other side, Russian troops see those same images as a grim reminder that they are being watched, targeted, and hunted with precision. In the larger context, this event sends a message to the world. Warfare is no longer about occupation, it's about disruption. Ukraine has mastered the art of using psychological tactics to weaken the enemy's will before the battle even begins. When soldiers start fearing the sky, they lose control of the ground. When commanders lose faith in their defenses, the entire war machine begins to stall. The destruction of those 27 trucks wasn't just an operational win, it was a psychological strike that broke through armor stronger than steel. The human mind. Through this single operation, Ukraine proved that true power lies not in destruction alone, but in the ability to manipulate fear, disrupt certainty, and dominate the enemy's thinking. The drones that carried out this attack were not only weapons of war, they were symbols of psychological superiority, whispering to every Russian soldier that nowhere is safe, and no war can be won when your mind is already defeated. The destruction of 27 Russian ammunition trucks on the way to Zaporizhzhia was not just a military operation, it was a declaration of defiance, a message of strength, and a symbol of a nation's unbreakable spirit. For Ukraine, this was far more than an attack on enemy logistics. It was a statement to the world that even in the face of overwhelming odds, courage and determination can ignite victories that echo far beyond the battlefield. Every drone that flew over that convoy carried not only explosives, but also the hope and resolve of a country fighting for its survival. The explosion that lit up the night sky was a reminder that Ukraine refuses to bow, refuses to surrender, and refuses to let aggression define its destiny. Ukraine's message was clear: they may be smaller in size, but their will is colossal. Each destroyed truck represents more than lost ammunition. It symbolizes broken chains, chains of intimidation, of fear, of oppression. Russia's strategy has long depended on brute force and intimidation, but Ukraine's success with precision drone warfare flips that narrative completely. It shows that a modern nation doesn't need to match power with power. It needs to match power with purpose. This strike near Zaporizhzhia embodies that principle. It was a display of smart warfare, of resilience sharpened by necessity, and of innovation born from struggle. The symbolism of this attack also stretches beyond military success. It's a rallying cry for every Ukrainian citizen who has endured months of uncertainty, air raids and displacement. When people see that their military can take down a heavily guarded convoy deep inside enemy supply routes, it restores something far more valuable than land. It restores faith in their defenders, faith in their nation's future, faith that every sacrifice, every sleepless night in bomb shelters, every moment of fear is leading towards something meaningful, survival with dignity. This event also speaks to the unity that defines Ukraine's defense. Every victory is collective, from engineers who develop drone systems, to intelligence officers who locate enemy positions, to pilots who execute precision strikes. All work together as one beating heart. That coordination reflects a deep national spirit where everyone contributes to the fight in their own way. The 27 trucks destroyed weren't just a military loss for Russia, they were a symbol of what happens when unity meets purpose. Ukraine's resistance is built not just on weaponry but on willpower, shared values and the relentless pursuit of freedom. To the global audience, this drone strike sends a message that echoes louder than explosions, that democracy, when threatened, can defend itself with ingenuity and determination. Ukraine stands not just for its own sovereignty but as a representative of every nation that values freedom and independence. Each successful operation reminds the world that tyranny can be resisted, that strength does not come from size, and that courage can rewrite the course of history. When the smoke cleared over Zaporizhzhia, what remained was not just debris but proof that a nation united by purpose cannot be broken by fear. This attack will be remembered as one of those defining moments that transcends numbers and statistics. It will stand as a symbol of resistance, a small nation standing tall against a giant, proving that spirit and innovation can defy even the most formidable odds. For every Ukrainian soldier, it's a reminder that they are not just fighting a war of territory but a war for identity. For every citizen, it's a sign that their sacrifices fuel victories that inspire the world. The destruction of those trucks is more than a tactical triumph. It is a living symbol of resilience, courage, and national pride. It tells the story of a people who refuse to let their future be written by force. It's a flame that burns brighter with every challenge, reminding the world that freedom, once awakened, can never be silenced. Ukraine's message is simple yet powerful. You can destroy our cities, but you can never destroy our spirit.